Teketeke Nation Live brings to you
Inawezekana.
Inawezekana.
Hello. Habari jioni. Hope you are all doing well. It's a great Sunday. Tumesha kula neno and we are here on Teketeke Nation Live, bringing to you Inawezekana, a program whereby we talk about economic empowerment and what we do every Sunday 5 to 6 p.m. Na poleni leo tumechelewa kidogo, mvua inanyesha hapa na pale, leading to some delays. We talk about the different approaches the young people we have in the continent of Africa can empower themselves kujipata in a position whether they are employed ama into different business ventures, to be in a position to earn their own livelihood, because maisha kwa Africa as a whole, in Kenya, life is a bit complex na watu lazima wapate uradi. So most of us tumetoka campus, job opportunities zimekuwa kidogo, business ideas zimekuwa ngumu because capital ni a challenge to many of us. And Teketeke Nation Live every Sunday brings you this program to ensure that we keep on bringing different guests on the show ambao watashare practical views and tips with you to enable you learn and understand what do you need to do to be in a position ya kujua kwamba nifanya aje, nimetoka chuo sijapata job, what else can I do? Nimetoka chuo nimepata job, how can I balance maybe a job, should anything happen, how am I going to survive out here? And today I'm excited because I have one of my friends. She's a long-time friend, and it's difficult at times to do this stuff with friends kwa sababu wanaweza kukuchekesha kwa sababu vitu nakwambia unazikumbukanga zote. And allow me to introduce our guest of today. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yes, to our viewers, it will be great for you to tell them who you are and what you do.
Okay, asante sana Teketeke Live for this opportunity. Kwa majina naitwa Mary Ondiek. Ninafanya kazi ya HR. So basically I'm a social scientist by profession and I am also a human resource personnel. So kazi ya HR nimefanya kwa muda mrefu. Kwa miaka more than 10 years nimefanya hiyo kazi.
HR 10 years. There is one thing in the different organizations I've interacted with people with, HR anaogopa bwana. Unajua HR ni simba. So you've been a lioness for the last 10 years.
So what happens,
yes.
Vitu zimebadilika. Kitambo ndio HR waliogopwa, walikuwa ni kama ukiona HR unajikunja, unajificha.
Yeah.
But over time approaches zimechange. So utapata hata titles zinabadilika. Inaitwa people. So people manager, people operations manager. So sai focus imekuwa kwa the people themselves. So sio kuangalia ukubwa, bali kuangalia hii resource yenye ni watu. Tunasema human resource.
Yeah,
So focus imechange kwa watu wenyewe.
Okay.
So sisi sio wale wa kuogopwa, bali ni wale wa watu kukuja kwetu kwa kupata usaidizi, support, ideas, way forward. Kama kuna shida wanakuja tunatatua.
Okay.
Hivyo ndio vile vitu zime-evolve.
You know, when most of the HRs walikuwa ni wale wa when a smile when you are signing the contract the first time, then sasa mistakes happening there, warning letters HR. Mambo imeenda combo, you are being fired HR. So people were really treating HR personnel with a lot of fear.
Yeah.
But it's glad you are mentioning that approaches are changing over time. And now I've seen different organizations advertise for people's operations manager. So this is the same as the older version of HR.
Yes. It's HR na pia HR ime-evolve. Kuna HR tofauti. Unapata kuna HR business partner. Unapata kuna HR people operations. Kuna HR mwenye anadeal na payroll pekee, business support. So ina depend na ukubwa wa kampuni. Smaller organizations, HR ni HR wa kila kitu. Of course sababu hawezi afford kukuwa na department kubwa. But makampuni yenye yako na department kubwa, then you find kuna HR wa different departments. So it's an interesting field. Hamfai kuogopa HR. In fact, mnafaa kukuja kwa HR.
I think we need some level of awareness creation.
Yes.
And also maybe as different organizations nazidi change over time, just communicating clearly so that staff members who understand that HR, they're no longer the beasts
No.
we used to see.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Tutaenda tukielimishana pengine tutapata nafasi kwa show tena.
Oh, okay. No, this is our home.
Yeah.
This is our home. So before we proceed, to our viewers, this is Teketeke Nation Live. Our program is Inawezekana, and we use this program to demonstrate to the different young people we have across the continent of Africa that it is possible. Challenges are there, but we don't need to kill ourselves or to give up thinking that that's the end of life. You might leave a university or even a middle level college. Coming out here to the job market, things are tough, but we have a HR expert in the house today. She would be able to take us through what do we need to do to package ourselves properly so that we become attractive to the employers out here. We are on Facebook, it is Teketeke Nation Live. We are on Instagram, it is Musa Watabu. On YouTube, it is Teketeke Nation Live. Kindly subscribe, follow, fanya hizo stuff zote, and tutashukuru sana. Now, many people I have met and talked to say that they are no longer applying for jobs because in many organizations, even if you might apply for a job, the final decision is always predetermined. People always apply just past time. Is it true?
I can't say it's not true, and I can't say it's true. I think the problem with young people ni hiyo kuweka blanket cover. Kusema haya makazi don't apply, iko na watu. But ni kazi gani? You see, I know of so many organizations. Myself have recruited for many years. And for sure, it's I think 1 in a million cases where you have somebody.
Yes.
And the reason you apply is because, I mean, you advertise for these jobs is because of the internal policies. There are some companies where you must advertise for this work, for this opportunity, for the job, even if you have somebody internally. So that's an internal mandate that has to happen. But I tell you, most of these organizations where you see vacancies, they are indeed vacancies. They are opportunities that people need to remove that mentality, that attitude that haya makazi yako na watu, you're wasting your time. Also, I think it's because kutafuta kazi ni kazi.
Nigwan, I can tell you it is tough.
So hiyo ndio kitu young people, I think we need to keep telling them and retelling them. I tell that to many young people who come to me looking for jobs. I tell them kutafuta kazi ni kazi. Why? You have to look at the application letter. You have to tailor make your CV. Watu wengi CV yao ya kitambo ndio huwa wana copy paste
For all jobs.
wana forward all jobs. So for us who recruit a lot and have recruited over the years, we can see hii CV imefanywa tu forward. It's not speaking anything to this organization, to the job that we advertised. So I don't know, maybe we can go in depth a bit. So say we send out a job advert. Wewe kama mtu anataka kufanya hiyo kazi. Number one, are you really serious you want to do that job? Because if you are, then you take time. Usually, advert inapeanangwa 1 week minimum, mostly like 2 weeks. So you have time. Sit down, look at, okay, mimi nimefanya kazi gani? How does it link? Inaambatana aje na hii kazi
with what has been advertised for.
Imeadvertisiwa. Then you tailor make your CV na hiyo job. Because honestly, Musa, ukiangalia CV yako ya 10 years ago, kwa kweli I speak to kazi unaweza fanya sahi. But young people, most of them, sorry to say, are very lazy. I've seen many CVs which are just so, you just tell this person is lazy. Hakutaka kuchoka. So ana forward. And it's as bad as an application letter being dated 2018, being sent to a different company. But it is to me.
Mtu anachoma hivyo.
Yes.
So someone, an application letter which was written in 2018, anashindanga kiforward.
Yes.
They don't edit to tailor it.
No. So it shows you, so unajiuliza, okay, me as a recruiter, do I really want to give a chance to a joker?
Yeah, you can, of course.
And then remember, vile wanasema haya makazi tuna waste time. It's because applicants ni wengi.
Yeah.
So watu wengi wanatuma. Now how do you cut beyond this competition? What sets you apart? If honestly you cannot put the right date, the right company, so tunaanzia wapi?
So there are people you mean by the right company. Someone can apply, for example, let me say he's applying for a job at Teketeke Nation Live.
Yes.
Na ameandika jina ya different company.
Ya KCC. Tena anaandika dear HR manager, reference accountant at KCC. So it tells you huyo mtu ameforward tu.
Watu wamerogwa.
Ni kuchoka. Somehow unaweza waelewa young people, unajua umetafuta vile tumesema kutafuta kazi ni kazi, ametafuta mpaka amefika, there's a level where you feel fatigued. Unasema wacha nitume tu.
No, but you
So
see,
we should always re-energize. Tuchangamke tu. Kutafuta kazi lazima uamue tu na uchangamke.
Yeah.
I've had many success stories this year na hii post-COVID. Watu wamepata kazi.
Yeah,
Hawajui mtu ni kuapply tu.
Yeah.
And sahi opportunities ni mingi, si kama siku zetu za kitambo tukiapply kazi. Adverts ziko Facebook. Adverts zinaforwardiwa WhatsApp.
Yeah, online, there are many sources online.
All over. Google, you Google and the opportunities are there. Honestly, we should tap into those opportunities instead of complaining that hakuna kazi. Yes.
So, just to check, so it is, okay, but the organizations that are equally corrupt.
Yes.
At times
They
you
are
could
there.
apply, now una waste time.
Yes.
So
You'll find somebody inside there telling you that hii usisumbukane,
Yeah.
iko na mtu na kwa
Okay.
kweli iko na mtu.
Okay. But kwa zile genuine organizations that people are really advertising for jobs, mtu ukipackage your paperwork vizuri, a good cover letter, a good CV,
Yes.
you stand a good chance.
You stand a good chance.
What do you HR experts look at? For example, you have 1,000 applications and you want to long list or short list.
Yes.
What are the main things you are looking at before you shortlist these candidates? For example, let me say 1,000 candidates, you want to long list 15. How do you arrive at these 15?
So what happens, like 1,000 is a lot, especially if you are a small organization. But if you're a big organization, maybe or many of you are doing the long list. So step number 1 is long list. So long list, how you do it, unaangalia job description na advert. Tulisema nini? Tunataka 2 years minimum experience, tunataka mtu ako na degree, tunataka mtu mwenye ako na personality fulani. Unaona, mtu ako confident, mtu mwenye is a leader, self-starter, you know, such things. So as you put in your application, mention those things.
Demonstrate hizo stuff.
You must demonstrate. You must talk about that degree. Talk about even your achievements in that degree. You know, because remember, like I said, it's a competition.
Yeah.
It's not.
Lazima uweke game juu.
Yes, huko si kwa baba yetu. Baba yetu hana kampuni. So kwa hii kampuni, you know, what can I do to set me apart? So step number 1, put those things that we are asking for in that CV, in that application letter. Check that application, double check, triple check that you're writing to the right company, the right date, and if possible, send that CV and application as fast as possible. Why? If you're a small organization, hauna time ya kuangalia 1,000 CVs, kusema kweli. Siku hizi kuna job pressure, kazi zingine zinakungoja, so sio recruitment pekee. But kama ni kampuni kubwa, wako na department ya recruitment pekee, they can look at even more than 1,000 CVs. So the earlier you send your application, the better. Uko sure itaangaliwa.
Kuna hii jeshi yenye inatumaga, the deadline was 30th, na anatuma tarehe 2 anatuma CV.
Hizo kusema kweli hatushughuliki.
Okay.
Unaangalia tu kama tuseme ni Google Mail, unaeka tu mark as read and life goes on. Why? Because honestly the deadline had passed.
Okay.
And now we cannot say ati kwa 1,000 CVs hakuna yenye tumge long list.
Yeah.
Hii tutaangalia yenye imepita deadline. Very rarely. However, there are some technical jobs. Utapata kwa advert wamesema, even if the date of application has passed and you feel qualified,
Still,
apply. Yes.
Okay.
So you can still apply.
Also they might.
So ni case by case.
Okay. So it is important that the duration ya application we fit in as soon as we want advertisement. Work on it,
Yes.
ensure it is a quality application, put it in.
Yes.
The other thing that I have heard people talk about out here is many employers, and I come from the world of entrepreneurship, people keep on complaining that younger people, fresh graduates out here, do not have the necessary skills. Is it something maybe you've seen as you carry out the different recruitments?
Okay, so I recently recruited, that was late last year, a job for somebody who was an entry level. So what happens is we are not expecting this person to have worked for 8 years, but be sure tunataka mtu amechangamka.
Mtu mtakongangare kidogo.
Kabisa. So opportunities ziko. Mtu asingoje umalize form 4, umekaa tu home, ama tuseme umemaliza college or degree yako, umekaa home unangoja kazi no. Unaona kwenye Teketeke, opportunity iko, mtu akakuja na ni young person. Anakwambia, Musa, ningependa kukumanejia vitabu zako. Kwa kweli huwezi kosa fare ya kumpa.
No, we are big, my friend.
Yes.
We are big.
And so you can imagine how many organizations ziko mtaani, leave alone hata kuenda CBD useme hauna fare. But within mahali tuko opportunities ziko. Supermarkets ndogo ziko mtaani, supermarkets kubwa ziko mtaani. Do we have initiative to take that step to go and present ourselves so that I tell you, employers are looking at experience. It doesn't have to be relevant sometimes. Ni ile tu kuona huyu mtu young.
Ako na some level of initiative.
Kabisa. Tunataka watu wako na initiative. Huyu mtu amefanya ma promotions za super, amepromote Safaricom, ameuza internet. You know, hata hiyo kuuza internet unaweza pata kazi kwa IT company.
Yeah.
You know, as an entry level mtu wa kazi ya mkono. Another problem I foresee, and I mean I've seen a lot, ni young people hawataki kuanza chini. Unapata mtu hajaifanya kazi lakini ame-apply executive director. So unashindwa, okay. Mtu atakuwa executive director.
Anataka kuwa executive director.
Ama senior finance manager. So unashindwa. Hata ange-apply assistant accountant, assistant admin.
And it's a process.
Yes. The challenge with young people is they are not ready for the process and they are not patient enough. So zapata mtu amepata opportunity na within even a year anaanza kucomplain. Hapa mi sioni growth, mi hii kampuni sioni.
Umekuja tu assistant. Unaona aje wewe?
You know, for young people to appreciate patience, they should look at the growth of a child. Katoto kakizaliwa bado kanategemea mama. You need to tegemea your boss. Boss anajua.
Anajua amekuapa for some time.
As much as possible. So that you reach a point where you can sit down. That means now the boss is trusting you with duties.
Some responsibilities.
Unaweza fanya to responsibilities, you prove yourself. Na ni job, sio ni kazi kabisa. Unachapa job and then you reach a place where you can now walk. So unapata you are no longer an assistant, you are now the accountant. Over a period of time, watoto wanaenda shule na 3 years. Jipe miaka 3. Then uanze kusema hapa nimechapa miaka 3, sioni kama nimewekwa officer. You know, young people don't want to go step by step.
Impatient.
They want pesa papa.
Akiingia hivi 2 months amefika executive director.
That's not realistic.
It doesn't work like that.
No.
Kidogo, before we proceed, najua pia lazima tulipe bills. Yeah, so guys, Inawezekana show being brought to you by Teketeke Nation Live is always brought to you every Sunday. But what you've never realized that we are being sponsored by Teketeke Courier Solutions. It is, if you have a delivery to do in Nairobi, any place in Nairobi, going to Thika Road, Waiyaki, Mombasa Road, CBD, wapi, it is Teketeke Courier Solutions, pole. And there are only 2 courier companies in Nairobi. Only 2. It is, you are either using Teketeke Courier Solutions or using others. And I never talk about others. I only talk about what I know. It is Teketeke Courier Solutions. Piga simu, nambari ya simu, it is 0727884700. Tafadhali, uko na parcel, umebaia msupa ka keki nafaka ku delivered, umenunua some present you want it to be delivered in style, uko na umeenda kwa office umesahau charge ya laptop, which these things always happen, and you want a courier solution ambayo iko dependable, they are fast, they are affordable. Call Teketeke Courier Solutions 0727884700. I have told you there are only 2 courier companies in Nairobi. You are either talking about Teketeke Courier Solutions or others. So do you want to use others? Who uses others actually? Do you go for other candidates or you go for the candidate? Muki advertise, muki taka kuchukua mse kwa job.
We cannot go for others. You know what happens is like, say you have your Teketeke. You want somebody who you can trust in your company. Somebody who is focused, committed, hardworking and all that. I forgot to mention something when we're talking about CV. We now have people who are writing CVs.
Professional CV writers.
Professional CV writers. I know one personally, Charity, the HR guru, you know Charity. And we know many others. I mean, for you to get money, you have to spend money.
Kama utumi pesa upate.
So why are you not taking, hata ukope anko, tao moja.
Wandike CV.
Peana mtu anaandika CV. Huyu mtu ataandika CV, akuandikie barua, na akufundishe vile uta tailor make, vile nilikuwa nasema CV za tailor made. Because vile tunasema hapa, pengine hawajui wataanzia wapi. But kuna watu wako na hiyo ujuzi, wamefanya mingi for different jobs, they can advise you. Yeah,
so before you go to the next question, majamaa tafadhali pale nje. We on YouTube, we are Teketeke Nation Live. Kindly for you to get our discussions. We have a lot of work you're doing on YouTube. Please subscribe on Teketeke Nation Live. Instagram, it's Musa Watabu. Facebook, it's Teketeke Nation Live. Fanya makeke bwana. Follow pale, subscribe. Tukue tukipatana hapa kila Sunday, tukipiga hii job. There is something that talking to different young people, they say it's a bit challenging to do an interview. The interviewing process is very difficult. And many people fresh from university, they struggle a lot. How should they prepare for an interview? And when called for one, how should they present themselves?
Okay, so the first thing an employer wants is, for example, you're recruiting for Teketeke Live. Does this person know what Teketeke Live do or does? Because you call somebody for an interview, the interview questions are common. Definitely will ask you who you are, what you have been up to, where it is you want to go, like, and why do you want this job? You can't talk about a job that you want if you don't know it. So the first thing, know about the company. The second thing, know about the job. So it's easier to talk about a job you've done. And what I can advise young people is for you to know this job. Like, the earlier you determine who you want to be, the better. The earlier you determine, like, you want to be a HR, you start studying what are the interviews for HR? What do HRs do? So that when you go for the interview, you speak that language. You say, why I want this job is I want to be able to track your leaves. I want to be able to do payroll. I want to relieve your burden of handling conflicts and disputes. Speak the language of the employer. Tell them what it is they want to hear. Because they want somebody to do that job. But you find somebody is coming for the interview. Hana habari hii kampuni nafanya. Unamwambia, okay, what do you know about our company? Anasema,
they haven't done their work.
They don't know. Some companies are technical, but there are those basic things.
Basic things you need to. And they're online. These
exactly. Like I said, everything is now online. Not like our days we would now have to check in the newspapers, have these people advertised. And then many companies also have YouTube channels. You'll find the CEO or the head of programs or different departments, especially the department you're interested in, have done talks. Have done shows, have done documentaries or
so
something.
Be able to pick.
So you can pick up and then speak that language. Say, I've been following you on YouTube. I'm very keen to work with so-and-so in this department. I mean, honestly, who will not give you an ear? Yes, and that will definitely set you apart. Na kupata hiyo kazi itakuwa rahisi sana. Lakini the biggest thing, Musa, ni watu kuchange attitude. Usiende interview, ukisema hii kazi imeshachukuliwa, it will show, your attitude shows, it will ooze out.
The guys interviewing you, they'll see it in you.
They'll see it in you. So if you can, you go there na attitude ya hii kazi ni yangu. Umepiga
give it your all.
Umevaa smart.
Umepiga luku.
Yes. Unaongea kizungu yenye.
Unajua nimejua I'm meeting ya HR kabiri ni nyonge baadaye.
Muhimu sana. So be very confident. Fanya interview before the interview. Mtu akutafute Musa nikalishe bwana. Hii maswali ya interview ya HR yako hapa. Now ask me, tell us about yourself. Tell us your name. Unajua maswali rahisi sana inaweza kukuchacha kama haujaprepare.
Unashindwa kusema jina yako.
Yes. Inakushinda kabisa. So ongea hata kwa kioo. But unapata mtu amekuja hajapiga shati pasi, amevaa rabas. Already huyu mtu hajakuwa serious na interview. Haezi kuwa serious na kazi.
Mimi who is interviewing you nimepiga look.
Yes.
I've put in some work.
Yes.
Wewe umekuja tu aizru.
It can't work. And I think young people really need to change their attitude, especially hiyo ya kusema hii kazi imechukuliwa. It reflects kwa interview. But ukikuja na wewe umehustle, umejitetea, umesema yako yote, yani hakuna kitu imebakisha, be sure you have left a mark with the panelists. Hata mwenye alikuwa na mtu wake tuseme.
Atakaa aseme, but hata kama this guy,
they'll give you that job. Now of course maombi bwana.
Maombi
muhimu
Jehovah.
Sana. Yes. And there's something I want to say, maybe it's out of topic, about maombi. There are certain trends in families. Unapata hii familia ni ya madaktari. Hii familia ni ya accountant.
I've read about a village yuko Siaya, and I'm told ni a village ya lawyers. Sawa, nimesoma a couple of articles.
So what is the blessing kwa familia yenu? So hata ukiomba, ukitafuta course ya kufanya, ukitafuta job, angalia familia yetu baraka gani iko. What are the trends?
Yetu ni ngumu.
Then you tap in. Hata kama baraka ni ya farming, it's a really good one because sahi opportunities ni mingi za farmers.
Sure.
Si kama kitambo, kama wewe si daktari, rubani, or
you won't,
you won't make it. No. So maombi, lakini do your part. Juu hata ukiomba, God has to work with you.
Sure. Yes. Bila God hatuwezi.
Kwa duve unasema makazi yameenda
no. And one thing tuko extremely prayerful, but then wewe umeunda partnership na malazi. No. God doesn't work like that.
Hata Bible inasema ukikunja mikono you will be poor.
Yeah.
You must work hard.
You must work hard.
And so you must work hard to apply, must work hard at the interview, and when you're given the job finally you must work hard.
Yes. Uzipewa job alafu anze kucheza nayo. Now, during this time ya someone taking you backwards, we mentioned that we need to package our cover letters well. We need to work on our CVs to ensure we've tailored them to suit the organization and the application itself.
Yes.
Now, there is this email body that I need to send with the application.
Yes.
Should I also? To mimi, I've seen people who come attach the documents wanatuma. Andiki kitu.
Ina depend. Kuna wale makampuni wameweka very clear instructions. When sending this CV, PDF it together with the application. Do you know, as a recruiter, I won't look at CVs that come in Word. Already you don't follow instructions.
Umeambiwa PDF, unatuma Word.
Exactly. They also give instructions. Put this as the subject heading.
Yes.
You just follow instructions. So you know
that
already
testing, it's already an exam.
It's an exam. We are trying, remember, applicants are 1,000 and beyond. We are sieving them down.
Yeah.
Why do you want to sieve off yourself? Surely, because you are basically sieving off yourself if you don't put in the right subject. And why we put that is because sometimes I'm recruiting for 4 or 5 jobs. Sometimes I tell you I'm doing many recruitments. If I'm not able to tell this is for accountant, this is for...
Yeah, you won't be able to categorize it properly.
Yes. So they're making my work hard and I won't have the chance to start sieving off, deciphering who is who. So I just move on to the next, They're making my life easier, but harder for them.
Yeah.
Unaona? So it's good to follow instructions. Weka your email body. Na kama kampuni haijasema, wewe tailor. Say application for the post of... accountant at this company, at Teketeke Live. Don't just be careless. Do things end to end. Apply properly from beginning to end. Write the subject body very well from beginning to end. Yes.
So in terms of bracing, we mentioned kidogo about watu wanakuja tu wamechakaa aja prepare enough. For example, kuna panels and you guys who carry out recruitments. Mumekaa bwana watu 5 ama 6. So it's very intimidating. Nimekuja hivi but nashindwa sasa. How should young people out here be in a position to face a panel ya watu 3, watu 5 and still be able to provide responses, relevant responses to the questions being asked by the panelists?
Okay, so things have changed. Si kama kitambo, like you have a panel that wants to intimidate, wants to scare this person. Although bado kuna makampuni wako old school, but most of the companies which are modern and are applying digital approaches, we try to first have a very small panel. So if you are interviewing one person, we try to be not more than 3.
At least something,
But iya kukuwa na watu 7 na wote wako sura ya kazi.
Bwana wamekuangalia hivi mpaka unasema wa.
Hapana.
You might even get that by the way, sikuwa serious. Nimekaa mtu kuwasalimia.
No, so things have changed. So now we have panels where we want to have a discussion. And yes, it's okay to be a bit nervous. So we usually give you a glass of water, sometimes tea, calm you down. Just try and calm down, breathe. And then take this, like I said, this is your job. So unajitetea tu.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you have a challenge of being nervous, jaribu, fanya hiyo interview kando. Ita mabeshte watatu wa
Mfanye kando.
Ujue kujitetea mbele ya watu. And you know, eye contact is important. Because watu wakora ndio hawezi kukuangalia hivi na wanasema pia wachawi pia.
We need wachawi pia, wacha. Kuna mchawi wanasemanga kwetu kwa kijiji, wacha nikienda December nenda niangalie nione.
So maintain eye contact, be as professional as possible. Usilete jokes. No matter how wana jokes, we maintain. Wanataka kuona.
Uwezi tupa kamoja?
Tupa tu kama ushapata kazi. Hapo mbele, jaribu usitupe. Jaribu tu ukue serious, speak about the subject matter, answer questions. The one that you don't know, you can say, Musa, sijaelewa vizuri. Siko sure nimekuelewa. Jaribu useme tena kwa njia nyingine ama ingia kindani. That's okay. But usijibu kitu wakikuuliza.
Wanaenda no, tu unajibu tu
Kuna interview nimefanya. Nani watu wakubwa, watu wamefanya kazi more than 7 years. So tukamuuliza,
akachoba.
Do you know this? Nani kitu technical kwenye watu ma journalist. Akasema yes. Tukamwambia okay, tuelezee kidogo. Hawezi eleza sababu hajui.
Na ameshasema anajua.
Anajua. So already unajua tunakudisqualify because you're not honest. So dishonesty is a big no kwa recruit, kwa application, hata ukiwa kazi. Just be honest. Be an honest, have integrity. So it's okay to say kwa kweli hiyo sijui. And especially if you're young, you've not worked.
You will learn.
You won't know, you don't know, but you say I'm willing to learn, like you're saying. Hiyo sijui lakini kwa kweli mkanipea chance nifanye kazi hapa, kwa nitajua. I'm always open to learn. I'm willing to grow hivyo. But also for those who are employed, grow yourself. Usije tu vile ulikuwa, we hakuna kitu umewahi soma, hakuna kitu mpya unajua kwa hiyo kampuni. Honestly, the competition is very tight. Na siku hizi hakuna hiyo pensionable and permanent kama kitambo. Things are changing every day, so we need to also change with the times. And when I say things are changing, sasa hivi tu ziko digital. Cyber cafe ziko kila mtaa. Wewe kama mtu
hata cyber siko hapa kwa simu tunarun cyber hapa kwa simu.
Wewe mtu yangu mbona hujaenda kwa cyber? Wewe unasemanga tu niko free mode. Niko free mode. Wewe hakuna una data, una bundles. Yet cyber iko. So uende uchangamke huko waambie mimi nitakuwa nakuja asubuhi. Juu hizo cyber zimejaa vumbi, at least most of the ones I've seen.
Vumbi by the way.
Sana.
Azitumii vile.
Hawaoshi hawana time. Ni mtu mmoja kazi yake ni
also uende umsaidie.
Msaidie. Changamka msaidie, lakini hapo ndani unasoma. So there are online courses you can do. You also have a chance ya kuapply kazi, you see. So let us now look at the opportunities we have around us. Like I said, they are right there in the estate.
Mention something. The problem na watu young wenye nimemeet najua pia wanataka kuanzia pale juu vile unasema. And then we always look at these opportunities ambazo ni kidogo kidogo, tunaona hii initoshi, najua mimi ni graduate bana, mimi ni graduate, so kwenda kwa cyber hapo. So tunapouza, we want the bigger fruits ambazo ni complicated kupata. And before you get the bigger fruits, lazima uko na hii ndogo. That's the unfortunate thing about life. These young people who are looking to join these organizations ambazo mna work, for example, amekuja hana any skills. Are they given chance to learn in the process before hit the road running? Ama nikiingia, baptism by fire?
Unfortunately, nowadays, most of the recruitments I've done, and even me, the current job I do, it was baptism by fire. People don't have time to train, unfortunately.
Ama yangu we.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying whatever opportunity uko nayo, tumia. And also change your attitude. Mtu akikuitia kazi ya 3 months, wacha kusema nani sasa alikuwa ananiitia kazi ya miezi 3 nifanyie nini. You know, hiyo miezi 3 it's 90 days. You have learned a lot in 90 days. Wewe umesema pale kwa interview you are willing to learn. Ingia pale ndani, be baptized by fire, but learn. Kana Musa. Musa, hii kitu ulikuwa unafanyaje? Musa, usinipe dakika 10 tu, hata kama ni jioni, nitakulipia Uber. Ukope kwa anko. Unajua Musa atakubali ulipe Uber, juu yako job na umeingia juzi. Atafurahia juu umechangamka.
Uko willing to learn, una show interest.
Exactly. So as much as people don't have time to train, you must give them you must create an opportunity for them to teach you.
To teach you,
Yes. For sure, the things I do, I didn't know most of them. I learned on the job. Nowadays, people are learning on the job. But it's your attitude that will determine.
So, you can say kuna attitude. Atasipoulizwa, asipoambiwa, come, we have a look at this. Yeah, hizi uliza. Yeah, na come tu, anaketi kwa desk yake, anaenda home. So,
pia, unajua ukikuja kwa kampuni, kuna yale makazi imeshinda watu, kama filing. Usione ni madharau unapewa kazi ya kufile. As you are filing, what are you learning? Unaona? What are you learning? What value are you adding? Because people want people who will add value. So we file tu, usilie hii ni kazi ya chini.
Lakini
file kama umejipanga, file half a day, the other half unamwambia sasa mimi nimefile, lakini nimeona kitu hapa kwa file, can I do 1 2 3?
Wanze kuprogress pole.
Yes. Saa hii job ni wewe kujipa. Sio kungoja kupewa na boss.
In fact, ufalme wa mbinguni.
Take it by force.
Nilisikia hii unaweza kuwa umeokoka hapa nje unatembea ni kama glass. Uioni. Tutapigana. Itapigana kama wewe ni weak uendi.
Hivyo ndio vile kuko kwa ground.
Now, kuna hii aspect ya kuna wale wase wana ingia kwa hizi positions. Positions especially kama internships ambazo watu huanzia. So are organizations out here still willing kupatia watu internship opportunities? Because I've also met many young graduates wanasema tukapa nje, I'm willing to take up anything but internship hawapeani nini, you know. So I don't how HRs out here willing to provide internship opportunities for young people hizo 6 months kidogo walan, or ama it is
in a depend. I see a lot of internship opportunities, but like I said, how is this intern packaging their profile, their CV, their application? So they should go for the internship opportunities for sure. But there are those companies that don't offer internship. Like you've already written WhatsApp kwa simu ya kampuni, nikakwambia hatuna internship. Ukatuma email, for sure hatuna internship. Na ni sababu hiyo kampuni hauja embrace haina capacity ya kusaidia huyo intern. Now what you do, tafuta kampuni ndogo ndogo. Mtu akikuja Teketeke live aseme nataka kukua intern. Utampea opportunity because unatafuta mtu wa kukusaidia. Ni vile hauna bado uwezo wa I'm just giving an example.
No, I get no, I get you. It's a good example.
Hauna bado uwezo wa kuweka watu kwa payroll.
Yeah.
But you have some money which you can sponsor this person, fare, lunch and something little for the month. And you know what is important is for how long do they want to intern? What do they want to learn? So that will now help them to be able to determine where can they get this from. Because the problem is some people, they just want to intern for the sake of internship. I mean, internship ni nini?
Iko na goal gani?
Exactly. So focus kabisa. Musa akisema hana, move to the next. Usikufe roho because Musa akisema hana. Na usijue juu nimesema ati sina internship. Hii kampuni ikisema haina internship, move to the next, move to the next, move to the next. Na saa hii kampuni details zao ziko online, you can always call, you can write an email, find out do you have internships? How do I apply? There are people getting internships, let me tell you. Even those in college, leave alone those who have already finished. Yeah, the opportunities
so kuna
are there.
It depend how aggressive you are.
Yes.
Na vile umejipackage as a person.
Yes. You see, it keeps coming back to attitude. Mwenyewe sasa ukipata jamaa amekuja anakuambia Musa ningependa kazi. Jamaa amevaa slippers. Hana nguvu hata ya kusema jina yake. First you're like, do I give you something to drink? Then we talk ama
udishi usosi kwanza.
Kula tu kwanza. You see, wewe jichoche tu. Me there's a time nilikopa mpaka suti kuenda interview. Kapiga look. Nilipiga look. Confidence nayo 100%. Nilijitetea. Sina hata fare. Nilikopa mpaka fare. So the person recruiting will see that. We see it.
Hii initiative sana iona.
Hiyo initiative inaonekana. But ukikuwa tu uko dull, wewe mwenyewe umegive up. Sasa mimi why do I want somebody who has given up in my company? You know, sai companies need people who have changamukad, willing to learn, they are digital. Yeah.
So I would surprise you. There was a time I was lucky to be part of a panel interviewing some guys. So this interview tells us that yes wali mimi sijui enda kwa next. Nikashindwa this guy umeamka asubuhi ukaoga ukapiga look umeprepare for an interview for about 2 weeks. And then a question comes. Uwezi kuwa creative in any way. Unasema tu kweli. Honestly, hii swali imekuwa ngumu. Tuende kwa next. Sasa nikashindwa this guy really. So with the other guys I was with wakaona maybe akona mental problem nini. They simply wakamwambia do you want more time to just to think about the question and respond. Ati hapana tuende naona kama imeanza kuwa ngumu sasa. Sasa the guy behaves like ni kama yeye ndiye anataka kutupatia kazi.
Ni kama mnamsumbua.
Mnanisumbua nyinyi mnipe kazi ama muache. So the issue of attitude is a big thing.
It's a big thing. It's like a big demon that's affecting our youth. Yes. I've met many young people who've given up. Honestly, if you give up, I cannot take you in my company.
And you will see.
You see, you know, they say the more you do something, the more you know it. The more we've recruited, the more we see them. You just see this young person has no energy. They have no confidence. They have no initiative. They have no time. They are already feeling so tired with this interview. Hiyo imekuwa ngumu tuende kwa the next. Sasa. Huyo mtu. Ni wapi kuna urahisi? Hakuna.
Vitu ni bwana.
Exactly.
Hata kusosi ni ngumu.
Yes.
Usipoweka bidii kutafuna na kumeza.
Exactly.
Watu wanamaliza food.
Ni ngumu.
Before we proceed, acha tulipe bills kidogo. So guys, I had told you earlier that we are being sponsored by Teketeke Solutions. It's a courier company in Nairobi. And so we do door-to-door deliveries. Uko home badala uende usumbukane, especially now kuna matope nje mvua inanyesha Nairobi. You don't want to get yourself in traffic jam unasumbuka. Call Teketeke Solutions 0727884700. Wataleta mzigo mahali kwako nyumbani. And there is one advantage with Teketeke Solutions. 1, they are fast. 2, they are dependable. 3, nani hapendi price yao iko fiti na itakuwa price ambayo itakuwa enable usave kitu pia ufanye stuff zingine. And we are not talking about Teketeke because kuna many options za courier services in Nairobi. The only two courier service providers in Nairobi. It's either Teketeke Resolutions or others, and I don't want you to use others. I strongly recommend Teketeke Resolutions. Call them on 0727 88 47 00. My good friend, there are also people who apply jobs and send Word documents. Is it risky to send out a job application which is in Word? Someone can edit.
Yeah, definitely it's risky. I'll advise young people to PDF their documents. Of course, sahi kuna ujuzi ya watu kubadilisha PDF, but a serious employer wouldn't. So it also shows uko serious na hiyo job. So put in your Word, edit it, change it as much as possible.
Then you
convert to PDF. It's safe. And also it gives us an easy time tukitaka kucheck. We also review the CVs. So it's very easy for me to delete or edit a Word document than a PDF, because PDF you just read through. But a Word document kuna vile mouse inaweza double click hapo ndani delete vitu na nitashindwa tena, sasa nitakupigia nitumie ingine ama it becomes difficult.
So it's risky.
Na
pia someone who doesn't want you anaweza to change hiyo kitu.
Exactly. Remember, this is a competition. Ni kali sana. So
hii ni noma.
Lazima umanuva. So for you to do it successfully, it's best you PDF. Yes.
The other thing is kuna watu wengi hapa nje pia wanatafuta job. Kuna hizo aspects that unajua watu young people wanasema hizi salaries ni kidogo. So what do you normally look at mkisema this guy is starting up, ni fresh graduate at the entry level? Easy salaries ku allocate ndio ujue. What do you look at?
So for salaries, some companies have policies where they have salary bands. So we have entry level 0 to 2, maybe the starting salary is 30,000. The next level is 50, and so and so. And some companies have that, some don't. Especially very small companies. Unapata tu unalipwa according to, say it's an NGO, it depends on the budget. So ule donor ali-approve ngapi ya hii level. And say it's a one-man show, like a small company for a startup, he'll be like, honestly, I can only afford this much. So there's no harm in asking what's the salary for this role. Sometimes they ask you, what is your expectation? If you're a young person, you can just say, I know you have a budget for this role, I'm open, because I don't know. But not that I don't know, you say I'm open, so whatever your offer is okay. I'm willing to work and gain experience and all that. But once you work for a certain number of years, then you have your own level.
You
So
can now start saying.
Yes, you can say, I've worked for 10 years, honestly I can't take below this. And the employers respect that, because they know the market rate, they know the value of that person and their tech, the expertise that they have, so they respect that. So it's also good kwa interview kuuliza. If they ask you what your salary expectation is, say it if you have one. If you don't, it's okay to say, I'm okay with your budget.
Okay. There are job adverts whereby they'll say that you need to quote your salary. And I've seen many people who struggle to quote their salary in the application letter.
Yeah.
Is it safe to quote it there, or you should avoid and wait? Or they can disqualify you for not quoting?
Yes, they can disqualify you for not quoting. It's because they don't want to waste time long listing and shortlisting somebody who's above budget.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but it's good to do a market research. What is the pay band for this position, and somebody who has experience for this number of years? Yes. So once you have that, then you have a range. And give a reasonable range. You can't say I want between 100 and 200K. It doesn't make sense. Like, what are you saying? You can either say I want a salary of between 100 and 130. That's okay. It makes sense. Yes. So do your research. Kabisa kama uko na watu wanafanya kwa hiyo kampuni ama similar. Say it's insurance sector.
You can ask.
Mtu kazi iko Jubilee, ulizia Britam.
Because those guys
wanalipwa kama ngapi, so that you quote within. Also, if you have been paid 100K, it's okay to say I want 150 because you are now growing to the next level. Yes, but some companies have very they pay better than others. So it's also good to know the sectors. The corporate pays different from NGO, pays different from government. So fanya research kabisa.
Okay. So is stuff you can know either by asking guys who are working in these organizations. Maybe you can carry out some research online as well?
Yes, online there is. I know Glassdoor do it.
Glassdoor, I've seen Glassdoor.
Yes, they do it. They say, okay, for this role, it's this much. Also, Relief Web sometimes, you can check and see the adverts that are there. What is the pay band they've given? So you can say, even as you're talking about it in the interview, they ask you, we gave this quotation. Maybe you can tell us more. You say, I've done some market research. I know this company pays that for this manager, but I'm flexible. You're willing to negotiate.
So showing clearly that you are willing to negotiate and like being rigid.
Yes. It's always good to be flexible, be willing to negotiate, because like I said, companies have their budgets, but at the same time you want the job, you know, so you don't want to oversell, you also don't want to undersell. It's a tricky balance, but they can tell they can tell your level and the budget for that level. They also wouldn't want to underpay you if at all they are a fair company. Yes,
I've had very weird cases of guys saying the guys working in the same organization, but then the way they negotiated the salaries was different.
Yes.
So you find that same organization, same job category, but we are being paid differently.
Yes. It happens. It happens a lot, mostly with startups and sometimes different sectors. But it's not best practice. Best practice is to have the salary bands, is to have a clear growth path. So, you know, I've gotten into this job. They are starting me with 100K. I know that in the next 2 years, if I work hard and I go to this next level, then they'll pay me 140. And within a certain period of time, I'll be at 200. Why? It's because it demoralizes the staff. Because you'll find you're at the same level. Sometimes one is more qualified than the other, but they are being paid the same or more. So you feel like, is it that I'm not being appreciated here? Is it that there's a godfather I don't have here? So it's not best practice, but it happens. But like I said, especially if you're a young person, you don't have experience, you focus. Fanya kazi yako to the best of your ability. Tell yourself, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. So you'll be self-motivated to focus and, you know, do your best. Otherwise, it can be very demoralizing. But it happens.
Uchoke useme,
wacha ikae. Nani hata amekaa tu, mimi na sweat nafanya kazi.
Karudi ushago kwani iko nini? Shamba itamea mawe, si nilime.
Yeah, challenges are there. Employment is not easy. Self-employment is also not easy. But
stuff.
Yes. So hakuna mahali rahisi. Kila mahali ni pagumu, but lazima ukue na number one, emotional intelligence, number two, wisdom. So, and also incline yourself to the right people. Usiingie kazi na unaanza siasa. Nani nimesikia anafanya hivi, especially HR, you know, we see salaries.
Unapiga kitu MCA, unapiga job.
Usianze siasa, wewe fanya kazi, pata experience, kama hapo hapakaliki, it's okay. Tafuta kwingine enda. But also usikue mtu wa kuenda sana.
Kuenda. So, yeah, now the guys who have worked, for example, in a span of 2 years, amework organization sita. Ako lucky, he's a lucky guy.
He's lucky for a very short period of time. Why? Because kuna question makubwa. That's a red flag. They call it a flight, there's a word for it. So he's a flight risk. This is somebody who anytime atawahepa,
so
ataenda. Yes. And I've seen it a lot. Most flight risks fly. They fly, they don't stay. It's because most of the ones I've seen hawatosheki. So kuna watu tumbo kubwa, so to say,
kamshande ni nini,
wanashinda Google wakitafutanga tu. Ako kwa 100 na tafutanga ya 120. Akipata 120 ako kwa 140. It's not good for your CV, especially if you want to be employed for a certain number of years. It's good to settle.
Your stability.
Yes. Yes. I personally had that challenge, but it's because NGO jobs are short term. So you'll find kuna project na ni miaka mbili na hakuna funding nyingine.
And that is it.
Yes. The employer will understand. Ukijieleza umwambie kwa kweli hapa nilifanya miaka mbili, funding iliisha. So ndio nikasonga hapa nikafanya miaka mbili na nusu. But hauwezi kuwa umefanya miezi 3, miezi 6, miezi 8, in 2 years uko kazi 6, that's a very big question mark. Whoever takes you, ni vile tu you are so good, most of them are really good at their jobs, but they don't stay. And so it's a challenge, like I said, employer hana time ya kutrain. We don't have time. So huyu mtu akishinda ameenda, now who will train the new person mwenye amekuja? So ni kama anaturudisha nyuma. So as much as they're really good, it's a big challenge. There's a big question mark, and most employers won't take you.
Yeah, before we come back to talk about a very, very tough area. This one is tough, I promise you. Guys, we are on Facebook, it's Teketeke Nation Live. We are on YouTube, it is Teketeke Nation Live. Kindly subscribe. Tafadhali, hata nimekuomba ndugu yangu. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We talk about economic empowerment stuff. We talk about different ideas on how to help and support young people, fresh graduates who are getting out of different colleges, getting out of middle-level colleges, on the different pathways they can take either to get employment or even get into self-employment ili tujipange. The most important stuff out here, sio job kuandikwa ama kufanya business, ni kukuwa na pesa yako. That's what is most important. Na si pesa umeiba. Either una run shop yako, M-Pesa, whatever you're doing, uko na pesa yako, ama umeandikwa job, uko na pesa yako. Kitu kubwa tunataka ni ukuwe na pesa yako, sio ati nini tutakuadvise uende job ama ufanye biashara, hapana. Job kupata ni one, but there are different things we can do. Badala ya kushinda tukilia, we can plan ourselves. Tunajipanga namna hii. Kuna mtu alisema unafanya namna hii, halafu mambo inakuwa sawa. YouTube, it's Teketeke Nation Live. Kindly subscribe and watch our stuff and share comments with us. Facebook, it is Teketeke Nation Live. Tafadhali wacha pale ujumbe ili tukaweze pia keep on learning from you. There is an issue. Two things. One is kuna issues, there are many young girls out here who get jobs because of the so-called sponsors in these organizations. How I wish ningepata chance kama hiyo.
God forbid.
No, I would love to. Is it true that there are young girls out here who are getting jobs because maybe HR mwanaume? It's very rare to see HR ambao mwanaume. You know, wako. Where are they?
Sana. They are there. There are very many. Yes. I know many.
Sijaona.
Wako.
So do we have some young girls out here, these beautiful ones, who are getting jobs because of just their looks?
Unfortunately, yes. We live in a very dark world. There's a lot of evil as much as there's a lot of good. So that reality is there. However, there's a challenge. Now, mostly I see it on social media. Huyu msichana anapata kumbe she's not the only one kwa hii kampuni.
Kuna turembo kadhaa.
So turembo tunaanza kuleta conflict. So
tunasumbua wakubwa.
So shida inaenda tena kwa HR. And unfortunately, if you find that's the culture, you know, kila kampuni iko na culture yake. If you find that's the culture, then the HR hands are also tied. So you'll find hana powers za kufanya hii disciplinary fairly. It's mostly skewed. So the manager will be, you know, giving the HR direction. Like, I want you to fire this person.
So manager after use anatimua.
They use and dismiss. How I wish young girls who are watching this show would have value on themselves. You know, there's no point of having a sponsor. It's not godly. There's no blessing. You know, by the time, no, there's no deal. You know, whatever looks good is not as good as it looks. So I know that's philosophical. It's like the apple in the Garden of Eden.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
You eat the apple and then you discover, oh, I am naked. But they have been naked throughout, you know. So it exposes other things. The best thing is, where jiamini too, like I said when I'm starting this show, believe in yourself, put in a good application, look for that job. You will get it. You will get it. Nobody cast you. Your village witches did not cast you, the way they like saying, you know.
And just to get it from you,
yes.
Is it also that young men out here, pia kona these opportunities? These opportunities.
It cuts across. Actually, it cuts across both men and women. But what we should focus on is, let us not focus on the evil. Let us focus on the good.
Yes.
Try as much as possible to not use your loins for such activities. You know, you use the skills that you have, the experience that you have, the papers that you have. You went to school, you paid for it. Now it's time for the school to pay back to you. You don't need to sleep with anybody to get that job.
Yeah.
No. So there are people who believe in sponsors, there are those who believe in godfathers, but you just believe in yourself.
And God.
When you believe in yourself, believe in God for sure. Like I said, it all begins with God. Pray, do your best. You will definitely have a breakthrough. You will. You will.
We are almost coming to an end. I would really like to get your views on the issue of self-employment, because there are many people out here ambao hawana job, and even the positions ambazo bana advertise in different organizations can't accommodate all of us. So what's your take on the issue of self-employment?
Okay, so there's something else before we talk about self-employment. So you've been employed, like I said, job inaisha, job huisha.
Yeah.
So what happens? You know, there are other options out here. Sahi opportunities ni mob. Kuna digital, kuna online jobs, kuna a small business you can do and advertise online, or even have a kibanda. Opportunities are there. And then you find after some time, ulitumanga application 2 years ago na wamekupigia, you are getting back to employment. So self-employment is really good. If only young people would embrace it. You can as well be self-employed, but you're still employed somewhere. So you can actually have a side hustle. There are organizations who embrace it. People talk about it with their bosses. Their bosses are even their customers, you know. So it's really good. And it's actually the way to go now. So first of all,
mpango wa kando
muhimu sana. Ya kazi, sio ya...
No, mpango wa kando ni mpango wa kando tu. You know.
Mpango ya kando ya kazi.
Okay.
Sorry, let us focus. So, you can identify what do you enjoy doing. Like I enjoy selling clothes. So I'm employed, but I still sell clothes. You know. So you can be employed and still have a side hustle. People sell all sorts of things which are legal. You can sell fruits, you bring to the office, you can sell
your colleagues.
Your colleagues. Your colleagues are also a network on their own. They have their own
Yeah,
friends.
they have their own contacts.
You know, I know a young lady who bakes, so she actually sends the corporate cakes in the office come from her. The birthdays in the office are hers. If the boss has a birthday in their house, she's the one who bakes. So what is important first is you deal with the key business. Kazi yako
umechapa vizuri,
yes.
Umedeliver.
Yes.
Then you can do.
Sasa ukikuwa na side hustle,
it makes sense.
It makes sense. And also you learn a lot. Side hustles really open up people. You learn how to manage businesses. You learn how to survive when there's a crisis, because side hustle huwa inateremkanga more than kupanda. Before ianze kupanda, first inateremka. So you learn many lessons. You learn how to deal with employees, because umeandika mtu kwa duka kwa M-Pesa yako, you know. So I think we should really embrace having a side hustle, embrace supporting young people towards self-employment. But one thing they need to know, it's not easy and it takes time. So patience muhimu, hard work muhimu, na Mungu mbele.
Inawezekana. So my good friend, as we almost come to a close, looking at this camera here, talk to our young people. What should they do as they plan their CVs, they plan to attend interviews? Wafanye nini ili watakapokuja for the interviews? First of all, wakiapply, wakuwe shortlisted, wajipate wameitwa, na wakikuja wajipange namna gani ili wapate hizi positions.
So umefaulu, umeitwa interview.
Yes.
Vile nilisema, kuja ukiwa smart. Kuja ukiwa confident. Be very professional. Usilete mzaha. It's not a place to joke. No matter how easy the panel is, you maintain professionalism. Smile, of course. I don't mean kuja na sura ya kazi or anything, but kuja ukiwa focused. Hii job ni yako. You know, like a lion going for an antelope. Focus. Go for it. Hiyo usiku usilale, ni usome. Hii kampuni wanasema nini? Wanafanya nini? Hii job ilikuwa inasema nini? Talk about that job. Talk to the panelists. You know, address them even by their names. You know, say, Mary, I like that question. Looking at the question you asked earlier, you know, make it, connect with this panel. Connect with what they do.
They can't kill you.
They won't.
The worst they can do is kunyima job.
Exactly. The worst they can do is deny you the opportunity, but you'll have left a mark in them.
Yeah.
You know, and then after the interview, it's okay. You can send an email to say, you know, dear Mary, thank you so much for the opportunity I had today. It was a pleasure to meet this panel. you know, and I look forward to a positive outcome out of this. So it's okay. Like, just go the extra mile. Usikue kawaida. Kawaida never takes anybody anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Usitamani kukua kawaida. Go extra.
Asante sana. Yes. Just one question before we close it. I have done an interview.
Yes.
I have finished and I'm waiting for a response.
Yes.
For how long should I wait before I give up? And no, maybe the guys who interviewed me are not sending an email or any communication to tell me they've gotten someone else, or it's me.
Yes.
So for how long should I sit in anticipation?
Okay, so you can give it 7 days, depending on how fast they wanted to recruit. Sometimes we recruit to just put your name in a pool, and so we'll pick up your application, you know, and call you for a contract anytime. But if we were recruiting to fill a position immediately, give it 7 days, you know. And you can even ask in the interview. No, they usually ask you, do you have any question for us? Please don't say you don't have a question. I mean,
if I don't have a question, I'll shoot myself in the leg.
If you don't have a question, ask, when should I expect to hear from you?
Okay.
But don't
at least say something.
Sina swali mimi.
Mimi niko tu sawa.
Hauna swali ya.
Utakuwa ni fala fulani.
Kuwa na swali bana, tafuta swali. Kama umekosa kabisa, sema when do I expect to hear from you about this position? You know, now you look serious. You are looking forward.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you finish by saying thank you for the opportunity and I look forward to working with you. Yes.
That statement, I look forward to working with. I think also I look forward to working with you. I would love you being my HR, my friend. HR unacheka kidogo. So as we close, my brothers, my sisters, it is tough out here. Jobs ni ngumu, but with all of us, myself, you who has been out there listening to this show, we've been told different things you need to do. And sure, you work on your application papers properly. Have a good cover letter. Wase ambao mnaandika cover letter, date bado iko 2018. Please, this is 2021 kama umesahau. Next year 2022. You're in 2023. Update your application documents. Have a good CV that has been properly tailored for the job you're applying for. Usiandike CV ambayo mtu akiona inakaa kama ya dereva wa tractor na umeapply dereva wa Uber. Please ensure you have tailored your CV to suit the application ambayo una apply. And then vile wamesema, when given an opportunity to meet for an interview, please look like you're going for an interview. Prepare properly, read. Nenda online, read on the website ya ile organization ambayo umeitwa, understand what they do, know some of the guys who are there, understand their programs, their projects and everything. Ukienda interview, don't look like someone who has just arrived from the moon. How do anything happening under the sun? And lastly, wamesema ni staff ya attitude. Let's work on our attitudes to ensure kwamba we are positively, ulikuwa na kitu ulikuwa nasema kitamba positive mental attitude. I think bado inafanyanga job. So have a positive mental attitude. Prepare properly, knowing that yes, the worst that can happen in an interview is you not getting the job.
Yes.
Of course, hauna job ndio maana unakam. So hata usipopewa, it's the same. Yes. The only thing that can happen ni upate your job. So go there looking good. Piga shati fiti, vaa kaskati kako kasuti kale kafiti umepasa mzuri. Present yourself properly, because it is through that process ambayo utakumeweka pia ndio itaconvince wale watu wakupate job or otherwise. Until next Sunday, I'm thankful and thank you, Mary, for finding time to sit with me and talk about this. I hope that the insights you've shared would really be helpful to the young people and fresh graduates out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Wacha tuambie watu wakuje YouTube bwana. Subscribe tafadhali. Subscribe on YouTube. We'll be doing this again on Sunday. I hope you'll agree on the invitation to come back.
I look forward actually. It's been such a pleasure.
Nashukuru.
Thank you so much.
Nashukuru. Ero kamano.
Asante.
Asante.
Teketeke